What's going on, Minties? The Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, and today I'm going to show you my haul for the month of June of 2019. So, please stay tuned. Now, before we get this haul started, I'd like to say a quick word from our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in an excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. Now, Cheap Graphic Novels is currently running a special promotion for you Minties. Let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you will receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. The first thing I'm going to talk about are these orange Complete Collections Volume 1 and 2. I found these on the Omnibus Cafe. They were used, but yeah, I'm all over manga that's this thick. I love when books are this thick. And the spine seems to be holding. My wife has read about 3/4 of this, and there is no crease on the spine yet. I say that, but I'm making sure. So I'm excited to look through that. And this is also a reminder that I am going to do a manga tour by the end of July. That's the deal that I made with some of you guys. I do a manga tour. I'm not sure why you guys want to see that, by the way. Like I said, it always feels like you're watching an old guy's manga collection. But the deal is I do the manga tour or I quit the show by July. The next thing I want to point out is over here. This is the Kyle pile. These are books that I'll be reviewing later on, probably with reviews on a flash. Since we have to restructure the channel a little bit since Amanda has left. And we want to wish her luck again. But this is Die. I'm very curious about some of these. Cemetery Beach, Justice League Odyssey, which I've actually read and I found okay. But I fell in love with the artwork. Actually, no, I like the story. The problem with this was the paper it was printed on. I'm so used to these DC books, and I'll show you here in a little bit, to being printed on this nice glossy paper that this kind of old school 80s and 90s paper really takes me back. But I mean, just look at the artwork though. This would look amazing in oversized format. I also read Maneaters. I wish this was a sparkle cover, by the way, even though it looks like that. I love this book. I think it was great. I want to do a review of it, perhaps with Maddie or my wife Melanie. And then we got some other books here. Let's see if I read it. No, I haven't read anything else. I'm waiting to read these later on with my co-host on Reviews in a Flash. So we have American Monster, Animosity, this book right here, 1975, which I love that cover and really digging the artwork. Let's see what else we got. Shipwreck, Caliban, Gemini. Love this too, the artwork in here. Very Humberto Ramos or Joe Madureira. Elseworld, Volumes 1 and 2. Middle West. No, wait, I did read this. This was good. This is written by Scotty Young, but the artwork is Jorge Corona, like the beer, Corona. But it's very reminiscent of that old school Scotty Young artwork from, I want to say like back when he was starting out the sketchy art style, when he did New X-Men. That's what he was doing at the time. He started just a little bit of experimenting with his art, going from less cartoony to a little more sketchy, and I really enjoyed that. So, really quick, what Middle West is, it is this story of Abel, this kid right here, who lives in this small little town called Farmington. Again, just look at this gorgeous artwork. It's a pretty cool concept. Like I said, small town. However, the storm comes in one day and wipes the town clear, and the storm is a supernatural thing because he knows Abel's name, or he or she. I really had fun with it. I can't wait for Volume 2. Let's see. Plume or Plume Omnibus, Volume 1. Black Road, Holy North. This is the Brian Wood story. So I can't wait to dive into those. And then we have Skyborn. This is the Frank Cho story. What can I say about Skyborn other than, my God, the art is gorgeous. Just look at that. It is beautiful Frank Cho artwork. The story itself, it's okay. The only things I've ever read by Frank Cho, honestly, have been things like Liberty Meadow, so I wasn't used to stories like this. It's kind of stereotypical, but, I mean, the art is what really carried it for me. I loved it. You know what to expect when you get Frank Cho's art, so you have this lovely lady here. But, you know, she's fully dressed most of the time, surprisingly. The story, like I said, it's okay. Now, this series I've already read the first book of, and I kind of want to do a reviews on a flash on it just to make you all aware of this, in case you have not heard of it or read it. This is called The Hero, and it is written by David Rubin. I'd never heard of him or his work. It is also drawn by him, by the way. But it is a retelling of the story of Heracles. And I really flew through the first book, and I really enjoyed it. The art took me a little bit to get used to because it's not up to what I like to consider something that I quite enjoy. But then I got used to it, and it's very cartoony. A lot more violent than probably most of the cartoons that you've seen. Very Samurai Jack-ish, I guess, in a way, might be the best way to describe it. But I've read volume 1, and it was awesome. I can't wait to read the second volume. I hope it holds up. But I probably want to read those back to back and then review it. And then I want to give a shout out to my boy Brian, who found out that I had not picked up this volume right here because it was out of print, volume 2 of Moon Knight. Now I need to go and find volume 1. And not only sent me Shadows of the Moon, but also sent me Final Rest. He is a really good dude, so mad shout out to my boy Bryant. Thank you very much for finding me these, and I just want to give a proper shout out to him. Next up is Blackbird, a story that I quite enjoyed. Reminded me a lot of Kieran Gillian's books, The Wicked and Divine, but this is Sam Humphries and Jen Bartel. It's a newer book from Image. Love the artwork. It's about a girl who thinks she's normal but sees visions of these gods, and her sister kind of have an in and out after their mom dies, and there's some supernatural elements, and now it starts off with her being a kid, and now she's a grown-up, working at a bar, not living the life that she was supposed to be living, because like I said, she thinks she has superpower, or not superpowers, but she is some kind of goddess. But I found this to be really good. I can't wait for the next volume. And this is Image, by the way. Let's see what else we got here. Outer Darkness. I have not read this yet. Just looking at it. Looks like a fun book, and I believe this is John Layman. Yeah, the guy that did Chew. Among other stuff, of course. And this book right here I keep hearing about from my co-host on Omnibus Live, Bitterroot. Not read this yet. This is volume 1. Written by David Walker. But I keep hearing really good things about this. I don't want to flip too much through here. Then we have Black Badge. This is volume 1 by Boom Comics. It's a hardcover. So, yep, this is the Matt Kent book. The same guy that did Mind Management. Actually, the artwork looks pretty good. So, I haven't read this yet. Now, this right here, I can flip through because I always love talking about these books right here. And this, of course, being Transformers, the IDW collection. This is volume 9. This takes us up to the Combiner Wars storyline. The next one should be Titans Return. Now, we should, I think, if I mapped it out correctly, have a total of 11 Phase 2 before we move on to Phase 3. And God, I hope IDW is watching because I want them to collect Phase 3. Because I know the hardcover of the new Transformers series is out. And I have a fear that they might cancel the Phase 3 hardcovers. But come on, IDW. You got to throw it in there. You got the Unicron story in there towards the end of Phase 3. You got all these guys that have been faithfully buying these books, like myself, for a long time, and we want the story finished out, and we will totally buy the new hardcovers that come out later this year of the new series. But anyway, IDW, my daughter, she picked out Transformers Phase 1, Book 1, to read, my 10-year-old daughter, and she's gone through the first book, she's going through the second book. I couldn't be a prouder father. Next up, we have Saga Volume 3, collecting issues 37 through 54. This is right before they take their year-long break. I don't want to flip too much through here. If you've never read Saga, you need to read Saga. It's one of the best comics out there. And also don't want to flip too much through here because you might see some boobs or dicks or other things because it's Saga. It is definitely mature content. But yes, this takes us all the way until the year-long hiatus break. So cannot wait to read this. We're going to do it on Old Reader, New Reader. Volume 6. Dan Abnett and I believe Bruno Redondo is the artist. So I've read some of this, and the art on here kind of reminds me a little bit of Oliver Copiel. There's nothing wrong with that. I love dude's artwork. But let's talk about this. Flash by Mark Waid, Volume 6. My God, we have more Flash in trade paperback. If you saw my most wanted DC Omnis, my top 30 list, you know that Mark Waid's Flash is on there. But until that day, I will take these trade paperbacks. I absolutely love the glossy paper they use on this. The art really pops out, and I believe this is the late Paul Ryan on artwork on 90% of this book. And collecting issues 119 to 129 of Flash, the Flash and Nightwing #1, and then Faster Friends, the Green Lantern storyline with him and Kyle. And I believe those were only 2 issues. And yeah, more Flash by Mark Waid. Speaking of classic stories, we have some more epics here. Now, you know, Marvel sent me a copy of this. I am giving a copy of this away. By the way, I will announce the 2 numbers tomorrow. There is going to be a 3rd number. I'm going to send the Demon Bear Saga to somebody, too. I just haven't told anybody or updated it. I will let my daughter pick the random number generator for those 3 lots. So the first lot, Defenders and Excalibur. The second lot, Daredevil and this volume of Fantastic Four. And the third new lot is just the single volume of the Demon Bear Saga. I'll be happy to send those to the 3 numbers in chronological order that were put down in the comments of the video of the Epic Collection. So good luck to those people. And what the hell is wrong with me? How dare I skip over to this Hulk and Thing graphic novel right here by Bernie Wrightson, one of the most talented artists of our time. Did a lot of the horror stuff, but man, come on. Look at the way he draws the Hulk. Look at the way he draws the Thing. Quite amazing. And now it's collected in here, this being volume 18. And also collecting issues 308 to 320 of the Fantastic Four, where Sharon joins the team from the pages of the Thing, and then she eventually becomes Miss Thing, or She Thing, I think is what we used to call her. And then the Thing gets mutated into that. Also collecting Annuals 21, and then, like I said, the Hulk and Thing graphic novel, and Hulk 350, which is it's a crossover event, and it starts off in Fantastic Four and finishes out in Hulk. Then we have Daredevil. I believe this is volume 20. Yeah. This is the Purgatory and Paradise. Most of the stuff in here is written by J.M. DeMatteis, and at the beginning is drawn by, looks like, Ron Wagner. Now, I have not read most of this stuff. I was kind of leaving comics when these stories were coming out. Ben Rabb, I know, has a fill-in issue because I remember that. And then towards the end, Gary Nord takes over the book, and Carl Kessel is the writer on it. So yeah, I haven't read much of this. I'm looking at the reproduction of the paper though, or the art. I think it looks weird. Like towards the beginning, it looks completely fine, but towards the back here, it just looks different. Maybe I think it's the computer-generated colors being reprinted. They don't look as smooth as the colors at the beginning. Maybe it's a different colorist. Not sure. Be interested to know if those are the way that it originally looked. Actually, no, this looks fine. Maybe it's just a couple of issues. Next up, here's a couple books I picked up from the Omnibus Cafe. This is Supergirl being super. Right now would be a good time to let you know to hit that like button. Just a small friendly reminder, please. It helps promote the videos and helps our channel to just keep growing. So thank you very much to all our subscribers. This is the story by Mariko Tamaki and also the wonderful and talented Joelle Jones on art. Believe we're going to do this on Old Reader, New Reader one day. So that's why I got it. Then we have Near Death. It's the Jay Faerber story. Farber. Oh, wait. Here we go. This is the Uncanny XMen. Let's see. This book right here is $39.99. And issues 1 through 10 of the new series. While this book is issues 11 through 16 of the new series, but only $20. So, interesting price points. I'm not sure. Here's the Venom books, and you can find out more about these when we talked about it on the Omnibros live episode where we reviewed those books. Here's Ghost Money. I have not read this yet. This is the hardcover. I believe this is Lionforge that printed this. They do some nice work there. Man, that art looks stunning. I haven't read this yet, so I don't want to flip much through here. So speaking of things I have not read, I have read some of these books. I did an overview of Blackest Night and Heroes Reborn if you want to check out the channel. I'm going to do an overview of this wonderful book right here because I have to. It's beautiful. It's Moonshadow, and I've been waiting for it forever. But for now, let's look at Deadpool, the Complete Collection. This is Omnibus Volume 2 by Daniel Way. Probably not my favorite writer on Deadpool. I never thought he understood the character of Deadpool. But I was able to find it on sale for, I think, $35 or something like that. It's because of the oversized artwork that I really enjoy in this book is the reason I picked it up. Because as far as the story, no. His Deadpool did nothing for me. Like I said, I don't think he understood the character and who he was. I mean, the breaking of the fourth wall, sure, every once in a while, cool. Every single issue, I don't know. I know there's a huge following of his story. It was a lot of people's first Deadpool, so that's awesome. I'm not shitting on what you enjoy. I'm just giving you my personal opinion. I think, yeah, this was originally, these issues right here, the Death of Deadpool or whatever they called it, were originally released in an oversized format, hardcover. So this finishes out Daniel Way's run. And here's another book that I didn't do an overview of, and I know some of you all asked me why I didn't do an overview of it, and that's because I wanted to do an overview of the 3 books when the third one comes out, of the Grant Morrison Batman stories. So this collects Batman and Robin 1 through 16. It is after the Rest in Peace storyline. It also collects Batman 700 to 702, and some of those have never been collected. And then Batman, spoilers, The Return of Bruce Wayne, issues 1 through 6, miniseries. I love this time in Batman. I love when Dick Grayson had the mantle of the Bat, and he was just such a good Batman. The chemistry between him and Damian were so awesome. In a way, and I know this might sound blasphemous, I kind of wanted Bruce Wayne to stay dead for a longer time, but, you know, comic books. Who really stays dead anymore? So I love the way that this is mapped out, by the way that it's collected here. They'll throw in an issue of Batman and Robin and then throw in an issue of The Return of Bruce Wayne as they were being written at the same time, or where it fits in chronological order. I think they did a phenomenal job with that. Like I said, I will do a complete overview of these when all 3 volumes are out. And that was everything in my haul for the month of June. I'd love to know what you all picked up and what you're planning to pick up for the month of July. Again, don't forget to check out the other videos that I've done, like Heroes Reborn or Blackest Night, or the upcoming Moonshadow overview. If you enjoy the contents of this channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like button if you like what you saw. We also have the notifications button there, so you know when our videos are going up. Please also join us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at NearMintCon, where you can find our upcoming schedules and releases of our shows. If you enjoy the content of this channel, please think about joining our Patreon, where you get exclusive things like early access to videos and reading comprehensive order polls. You can also find our t-shirts on Redbubble. All that will be in the description down below. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar, and remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.